We are live, it seems. So wait for Facebook to do its thing. Okay. Let's wait for some viewers. This is the first time I've done this, so please bear with me. We've got 5 people looking. Hello, 5 people. I can't see, I don't know how to use this thing. Let me put a hey in the comments. Put something in the comments, say hello. Oh, 1 comment. Maybe I've got to bring it up on my phone. I'm all new to this malarkey. Here we go. Happy Sunday to you, Melissa. Hi, Michael. Hi, Salvatore. Hi, Hugh. Hi, Peter. Yeah, it will be recorded, Peter. So yeah, I'll leave it on Facebook, the page, and put it on YouTube as well. So I need to mute this. Hey, Jose. Hey, Regalos. Hey, Alison. Hey, Imran. Hey, Laurie. Great to have you on, all of you. This is a fantastic turnout already. I'm absolutely buzzing about that. That's quality. Hey, Claire. Hey, Sarze. I hope I pronounced that correctly. I'm not sure. Hayden, how you doing? How you doing, mate? Corinne, good day to you too. Great to have you aboard. Hey, Donny. Hey, Darren. Always good to have you on. I'm in Mexico for people that don't realise. I managed to escape the drizzly, lonely, bleak UK on the 20th of Jan. I've been here for, well, yeah, just over a month now. Hey, Bo. So I'm just sitting in my Airbnb. It's not too hot today, fortunately. I don't need the aircon on. It's not sweltering heat. But yeah, chilling. Bought my books for the day, been sunbathing, and now I'm back on for this Q&A. Hey, Kristen. I mean, we've got plenty of people on board. We might as well just get cracking. Hey, Bill. Because people that missed the start can just watch the start on the page or on the YouTube. Hey, Randy. Laurie, I'm in Playa del Carmen, so I flew into Cancun and then got a taxi down to Playa, and I've just been here ever since because I really like it here. It's nice. Hey, Dan. Hey, Alex. Yeah, we might as well get started with the questions. So I can see 1 so far. If people want to chuck as many in as they like, I will try and get through as many as I can. I'm happy to stay on this for as long as possible. As long as people are asking questions, I'm happy to answer. Hey, Maureen. The timekeeping fooled you. Apologies. I don't know. I didn't realise that Americans thought midday was anything from 12 to 1 to 2 to 3, because in the UK we class midday as noon when the sun is highest in the sky. Okay, so let's start with the first question then, guys. So Bo's asked how many books you buying daily now. This is increasing all the time as I want to be buying more and more books every day. But I mean, on average, I'm buying anywhere from 40 to 70 a day, sometimes 100 on a good day. And I want that to increase as much as possible because I've got cash in the bank, so I can spend. It's actually just finding enough books. And I've also got a VA coming on board on the 1st of March. So they will be able to buy while I'm sleeping because they're in the Philippines. It actually works really well while I'm in Mexico. Pretty much while I'm not working, they'll be able to buy books. So that means I should be able to buy, say, 120 books a day, 150 maybe. So we shall see about that. The world's my oyster on that one, I guess. What repricing software do you use? I use Be Cool, Laurie. I've used a couple of reprices in the past. I've used the Amazon one, and that one I didn't really like because I don't think it reprices back up. I've been told that it does reprice back up, but I'm still skeptical on that. If anyone can give me any info on that, I'm not sure. But either way, I like Be Cool because I pay $100 a month because I've got lots of listings, but also they at the $100 a month rate, you get your books repriced every 5 minutes rather than in 15. And I think that really helps during year round really, because then you're just beating people to the buy box if you've got the buy box, because your prices are getting changed quicker than most others. I think. I mean, I don't know what the mega seller repricing software is used. I don't know how effective theirs is, but I seem to beat a lot of sellers to the sale. I find when I look at listings. So yeah, Be Cool, really good. Really recommend it. I've got an affiliate link somewhere if you want to sign up, but they do like a 14-day trial, and it's only $25 a month for 1,000 listings. So it's like really good value. It's really good. So I recommend that. Dan asks, what specific metrics do you look for when vetting a book and keeper? So I talk about this a little bit, but my main metric is the used 180-day average. The used good 180-day average. I find that if I can buy a book for half that, or maybe 40% that, depending on how high the rank is, that's usually a big go signal for me, a big green light. And then I will look at obviously like historic prices. I'll look at what it was at 12 months ago. I'll look at whether it's seasonal, whether it's going to sell in the next couple of months. Like if it's a textbook, I'm probably not going to buy it in February because it's not going to sell again until August. I'm trying to buy less and less textbooks because I want to buy books that sell year round. But mainly I look at that used good average, 90 and 100 day. And then I will look at the offers a bit, but I'm not too bothered. I don't like to look at books with too many offers generally, unless they're like a super low rank. But we all know that a lot of the super low rank books we're restricted in anyway. Like I'm still restricted in most of those. So yeah, I guess I go for low offers and used good. And sorry, the used good average has also got to be $40 or above. Otherwise, I won't go near it. I'll just close the tab. If I open a book that's got $39, I'll just close it, because I'm not interested in books that I can buy for. Well, I'll buy books for 20 and sell for 40 all day, but I'll rather focus on books that I can buy for more than that, because it's just the margin gets better the higher you go, and the more you can spend. And I'm in a fortunate position where I can spend more money. There are still plenty of books you can buy for $15 and sell for 50, but I'm just in the market for spending $50 plus a book at the moment. That's just where I'm at. Afternoon, Ben. What percentage of your books are textbooks? I get asked this a lot. I don't really know. I'm going to go with 80 to 85% still, even though I'm saying I'm trying to buy less textbooks. I still have a ton of textbooks, as they do. There's no joking around. They do sell really well, and a lot of them sell year round, and you can make great profits on them. I mean, maybe it's creeping down 75%. It's hard to say because I don't really do an audit of my inventory, but when I get my VA on board, I might ask them to do something like that, and just I'm quite interested as well. Not starting buying online yet, Corinne. Just building confidence and selling freebies. I mean, that's a great way to start. Sell all the books in your house. Go down to thrift stores or charity shops and see what you can pick up for £1 or $1. And yeah, if you get the bug, if you enjoy it, then you're going to start looking online and looking at opportunities to kind of make more money and try and find more products. So it makes sense. What my monthly costs, Ben? Accounting, I pay £150 plus VAT. So for the US folk, VAT, we add on an extra 20% for value added tax for whatever reason that is. I have no idea why. So it was initially going to be like £120, and then I was just sending them so many receipts that they just said, look, we've got to charge you an extra 30 quid. And I thought, well, it's totally worth it, because all I do is I send them I send them my PayPal summary, my Amazon sales, and all my receipts um, every quarter because I need to do a VAT return, and that's all I need to do. And if they've got any questions, they ask me, and they usually don't have many questions because we've got a good understanding now. We've been doing it for a few years. Oh, and then I'll send them obviously my bank statements, sorry, as well. So my bank statements, PayPal summary, Amazon sales, and receipts. And that's all I have to do every quarter to get my VAT return done, and I just sign it. So it's quite easy. I think it's very affordable. People just posted today about accountancy stuff. If anyone needs an accountant in the UK for a limited company, or if they might do sole trade as well, drop me a DM, drop me a PM or whatever, because I can recommend my company, and they've been absolutely great for me for the past 3 years. Like they will answer my emails within minutes. If I want to get on a call with them, they will get on a call with me straight away that day. It'll be like within an hour. If not, it'll be a few hours. So they're really great, and I think they're affordable. I think that's quite a standard price, £150 per month. That is. Um, Prep Center is $2. I pay $2 a book for them to prep and list. So they do everything. They grade the book, they list it, they put the condition in the listing, and then they send it into Amazon, all for $2. Which for me, if I'm buying a book for $50 and selling it for $150, it's pretty cheap, isn't it? I know a lot of people are averse to using a prep center when they start out because it's obviously saving costs, but I was in a fortunate position where I didn't actually even need to figure that because I'm obviously in the UK, so the prep center wasn't even a thought, and I think that's been good for me to scale quicker than most, because you probably get in a comfort zone when you're doing your own prep and you kind of think to yourself that you enjoy it, or um, it's always hard to change your processes, isn't it? And changing your processes from straight away from doing it in your house or your garage to send it to a prep center, and it's a lot of control to kind of take out of your hands. And I can see how that's hard, because I found it hard to change things in my business, seeing as it's taken me so long to hire a VA, which is probably my fault. But I advise everyone to use a prep service from the start. Really, if you've got enough capital, then you need to be using the prep service from the start. I use Central Virginia Prep. They've been fantastic. I always recommend them. Send them an email, office at centralvirginiaprep.com, if you want to use them and say I sent you. So they'll always be happy to take new clients on board, because they've just opened up a new warehouse, so I think they've got more space now. So yeah, they're great. What are some places to buy books online, Melissa? I buy all my books from eBay, Amazon, Biblio, AbeBooks, and Alibris. That's all you need, really. That's where all the mega sellers list all their books. They usually list their books across multiple platforms. You just need to see which platform they've got it on the cheapest for, which you can do by scanning the ASIN through Bookfinder. And then there you go. Those are all you need. It's nice and simplistic with book arbitrage, I think, compared to, say, arbitrage, where you've got to scan loads of different stores like Walmart, blah, blah, blah. I just like the ease of just you've only got to focus on 5 different sites, and there are more places you can buy books from. But as a UK citizen and a UK limited company, I've struggled to buy books from other sites because I don't have a US billing address. So certain sites like Valor Books, Textbook Rush, I think CBR, Books, eCampus, there's a bunch of them that I can't buy from, and that hasn't hindered me. So it goes to show that if you focus on the big 5, or whatever, a few, I mean, you can build a business just buying books on eBay and selling them on Amazon, because there's a software called Flipmine and people are doing that successfully. So you just need to focus yourselves on the ones that you find the most profitable flips on, and then go from there, I guess. Michael, what are your thoughts on Beacle's new AI technology that they're coming out with? I have been quite lazy on this one, and I'm actually supposed to be. I'm doing a webinar, another webinar, like next month after the one next week, in the group on the Be Cool AI repricing, because we want to kind of show you guys how powerful it is. I've read about it. It looks really good, but I don't know enough of the detail yet to comment and answer that with enough knowledge. I don't really know is the answer, but I think it looks good. But as far as I'm concerned, Be Cool currently is really good. I've got no problems with Be Cool as it is. So if it's going to be getting better, then I'm not complaining, am I? I just am a Be Cool fanboy. Okay, Bill, can you give us a brief walkthrough of what you do once you find a book that you think is worth buying? What other factors do you look at? You're going to have to clarify a little bit more on that, please, Bill, because if I find a book that's worth buying, I'll buy it and that's it, right? Do you mean like, yeah, you're going to have to clarify for me, please. Kristen, what is your lowest profit you'll be interested in per book? I don't really look below $10. I wouldn't say no to. I don't, profit's profit. I'll take $5, but I just find that I've got so many alerts set, and all the alerts that I've got set are all $10 and above, and generally it'll be 15 to $20, right? So I've said before, but my average I think is $25 net profit per book. So that gives you an idea. Over the past three and a bit half years, it's pretty solidly been $25 on average. So I rarely go below that. But obviously it's an average, so sometimes I do. But it will generally be the lower ranking books that I'll go for a lower profit margin because I know they're going to sell through. Or if we're in December, or if we're in July, and I can pick up a few books for $40 and sell them on for 55 or 60 and only make a few dollars off, I'll do it because I know they're going to sell through without a shadow of doubt. There's no worries for me. There's no risk. There's no risk at all for me to just buy a bunch of those, and I'm happy to buy 20 of those sort of books at a time. Because I know some people have asked in the group about how many books that I'll buy at a time. If it's before textbook season, I'll buy as many as they've got. 20 plus if they've got. I think the most I bought is 19. That was the most that was available, and they all sold through fine. I've obviously had problems buying excess stock in the past, but I've found that because I've stuck to my metrics that I was saying before about buying at half the used 180-day average, I've never really struggled with overstock. The only times I've struggled with duds and books that have died is when I've had books that have gone over the 12-month period and then they've gone into those really, really high long-term storage fees, I get those disposed of, and I only get about 8 of those a month at the moment. So it's pretty low considering I'm at 1,800 books, 1,900 books. So as a percentage, I can't work that out on the top of my head, but it's very low, right? And when I look at them, they're kind of books, they're legacy books that I would no longer buy. So they're like law books that I shouldn't have bought. Certain ones, there's just certain textbooks that just die because a new edition comes out, and it's hard for me to pinpoint them now off the top of my head, but I can maybe come up with a couple if there's demand for it. But I've just noticed there's a few certain like brands of textbook that when a new edition comes out, the old one just tanks, and those seems to be the ones that dispose for me, that get disposed of either. Please give the name of that software again. He's talking about the repricing software. That's Be Cool. So it's BQOOL. Yeah, that is, Be Cool. We got it. No worries. What tips do you have to scale the business and overcome the challenge that not all your money is stuck in inventory? This is a tough one. It depends on your risk appetite. In the UK, we have access. I'm sure in the US you have access to this. You get kind of 0% credit cards. And I don't advise this for people with not a good credit rating or people who have just started out in the books business. Just go and max out one of these. But a few months into my Amazon career, I had loads of stock just really rubbish stock not selling, and I didn't have any money to keep buying, but I knew that I could make this work, and I knew that I could start buying better stock. So I took out 2 credit cards, 0%, 0% credit card, so I didn't have to pay any interest. Sorry, 0% interest. Didn't have to pay any interest for. One of them was 18 months, and one of them was 24. It might have even been better than that. One of them was 24, and one of them was like 30, something ridiculous. So I looked at that application. I thought, hang about. So and one of them I got £4,000, so like $6,000, and the other one I think I got £8,000. So overall, I was sitting on say $20,000 worth of free credit. I saw it as free credit because I was thinking, if I buy $20,000 worth of stock, there's only one way this is going to go. Uh, I'm going to make money within 2 years. There's no way I'm going to make that many mistakes. So that's one tip I'd have for people who have got a good credit rating, who know a little bit about Amazon already, and are willing to take the risk of a 0% credit card. I mean, Amazon offers loans. I don't know how good they are. I don't know how. There's probably loads of interest in that, so I wouldn't advise anything I haven't done, and that's that. That's why I can't give you any more tips than that, because I've been fortunate enough to have those credit cards, and then I ended up just paying those credit cards back like a year later or a year and a half, like well within my time limit of being able to pay them back. So I was safe and I wasn't paying any interest. Oh, cheers for putting my affiliate link in there, Bo. Really appreciate that. That pays for a few coffees for me per month. Okay, Salvatore. As a warm up to selling books on Amazon, I've been testing the Keeper method on Amazon UK. Found a few books, but when Keeper alerts come in, the books go super quick, so struggling to get enough books in. Is it this competitive in the US? In a word, it is and it isn't. So Keeper is obviously very competitive right now, and it's only got more competitive. I'm pretty sure that this group and me talking about Keeper has obviously got more people using them, and I think that's just led to them being more competitive. There's speculation that people have written code and bots to some sort of computer code to pick up the cheap books, and I wouldn't doubt that. I'm sure it's very possible. I don't know anyone who's doing that, and I'm sure no one would tell me, because then I'd want to do it myself. I haven't spoken to any developers about it, but it's probably doable. I still pick up Keeper alerts daily, just not as many as I used to. But I don't know how many I pick up each day. Sometimes it'll be 5, sometimes it'll be 15. I don't think it usually gets higher than 15 these days. But saying that, that's where this new software comes in, and the webinar on the 23rd next week, next Tuesday, because this software kind of alleviates a lot of the issues that Keeper alerts are giving booksellers. And if you register for the webinar, you'll find out more. But this software is it's an more untapped market, less saturated, less competitive, and it's a great way to be able to pick up books without having to click the mouse faster than the other 20 people who are trying to click it. You've literally got to be on a Keeper alert and buy the book. You've got to have really fast internet. You've got to open the tab up in like a second, and you've got to click the buy now button straight away, and you've got to order. Not everyone's on their laptop all day. I kind of am, because I'm a bit of a loser and I like working, so I'm able to pick up a lot of Keeper alerts, but most people aren't. So overall, check out the webinar. You'll be able to pick up books, and they'll sit there for maybe an hour or a bit longer, maybe even half a day, maybe even a day, because this software doesn't just look at Amazon, as well. I'll say there. Okay. Is there a way to know if I'm gated before buying textbooks? Yeah, you just have to go on the find a product page on Amazon, and it will tell you whether you're unavailable to sell it or not. Maybe someone will post the link in the chat. Hopefully someone will reply to Laurie there. Oh yeah, there you go. Check your Amazon seller out. I'm not going to give you a quick overview of the software, just because I want it to be quite exciting and a nice surprise, because I know a lot of you have probably been on webinars before, and either the offer's not been very good, or it's been too expensive, or it's been nothing what you expected, but a big anticlimax. Whereas I know for a fact that people are going to get excited about this, because it's actually, no, I couldn't believe it when I first saw it and that it was available. And I'm hoping that I'll be able, like, me and the guys will be able to kind of get that excitement across to you of how powerful this is, and how cutting edge it is, and how, again, like, how ahead of the rest of the softwares it is. So yeah, I'm not going to tell you anymore, just because you need to get on the webinar and watch, because it's well worth it. It should be compelling viewing, guys. Okay. Corin, you've got 200 in your FBA inventory. Books vary from 7 to 120, all with free. There you go. That's a great start. As long as you sell a few of those through, then you'll start getting some cash flow back in, and you can start doing more of the same, or buying books online, and yeah, sounds good. Regalos, what is your percentage of customer book returns? I think it was like 9% when the first year or so. It was 9%. I was doing a textbook season, I was getting like 10% returns or something like that. I was getting really frustrated. I was looking at every email thinking, oh, so that's $100 that I'm missing out, blah, blah, blah. And then for whatever reason, I don't know what's happened, but mine's gone down to about 6 or 7% now. It might even be 5. I think it's probably around 6% at the moment. I get way less than I used to. I'm not sure why that is. I can't tell you why. Maybe I'm buying. Maybe I'm instinctually buying from sellers that I know. And actually, that wouldn't make sense. Yeah, I don't know. What percentage of your total purchases can't be sold, need to be written off? So I'll just explain that a little bit. So I have it set up on my Amazon Seller Central. Everyone can do this, where after 12 months, the storage fees on any books that have been in your inventory for 12 months plus start costing you a lot more than they did previous 12 months. So for me, if a book hasn't sold in 12 months, I've made a mistake there, and I need to just bury the cost, and I need to just bury that book, because there's probably no point for me requesting it back to the prep center and for them to send it back in, because it's likely a dead books. And whenever I've looked at the books that have been disposed of, they're just dead, and they're not going to come back up. There'll be like an FBA seller like Rent You on the listing. They'll have 100 books at $9, and there's just no way I'm ever going to make money on that. I'm never going to sell it through. So I just get those disposed of and just forget about it, and that's cost of goods. That just adds to the cost of goods for my yearly tax return or whatever. But the percentage is tiny. So I was just saying, every month it seems to be like 8 or 9 books at the moment. So let's say 10, be conservative. 10 times 12, 120 a year, and I've got nearly 2,000 books in my inventory at the moment. So obviously that's a bit skewed, because last year maybe I had about 1,500. So that's still like 0.1%, right? So it's not a lot. So it's all about, as we know in this business, the key part is the buying side. If you buy well, you're going to sell well, and the whole business is going to be opened up to you, and you're going to be able to make a ton of dough. It's just all in the buying. Have I ever considered making a course, Roman? I've considered it, but I'm not sure it's a route I will necessarily go down. I would rather do what I'm doing next week, which is promoting a software that I think will benefit all of the booksellers in the group much more, and it'll give more value added than a course that I'll do, because there's a big chance with a course that people won't even watch the content. Also, if I unveil, say, some secrets that I haven't put on the group, it's just going to saturate that edge or whatever, and then people won't be able to make money from it. Whereas I just think this software, people are more likely to use it if they paid for it, and they're going to get more benefit from it. That's just my viewpoint at the moment. Maybe I will down the road, I don't know, or maybe I'll do some like more niche course, or I don't really know. But yeah, it's not in my. I'm enjoying selling books right now. I'm enjoying the building the group. I'm enjoying getting a VA on board, building a bit of a team, getting the business to 7 figures and beyond. That excites me more than building a course, even though I know that if I built a course and sold it for $1,000 and sold 100, do the math. There's not much cost of goods there. I'd make a lot of money, but I'm just enjoying selling the books, and if I can make that huge, then why not do that? We'll see how it goes though. The name of the prep center I use is Central Virginia Prep. Send them an email, office@centralvirginiaprep.com, and they'll get you set up if you so please. Dan, I'm curious how you can buy so many books daily. Are a significant number of these multiples? I don't buy that many multiples, really. I like to, but I'm able to buy this many books daily because I've built up my master acing list for the past 3.5 years, and I've been working hard every day to kind of find new avenues to find books and find new ways. And this software is another example. I can buy an extra 20 books plus a day with this new software, if not more. I've not even utilized the power of it, but I think for me it's experience, and it's building up your alerts. If the more alerts you have, the more books that are going to come to you rather than you having to manually search them, right? So that's how I'm able to buy as many as I do, and it does take up a lot of my day now, which is why I've needed to hire the VA, because I've just got so many books to buy. Yeah, it takes me like a few hours, and I've obviously got other stuff to do like admin and accounting stuff, whatever. So yeah. Corin's a bookkeeper. You'd suggest staying low key unless you're making big money. VAT registration required after 85k. Yeah, but the good thing about getting VAT registered, selling books, right, is that there's no VAT on books. So for me, I'm laughing at VAT return time because I just get all the VAT I've paid back, and I don't have to pay any. That's just pretty nice. On your seller page, it says you're in 10 marketplaces. Do I need to specifically choose each country to include in listing? I would just start off with one marketplace at the moment, just focus on the US or UK, wherever you're based. I'm just in the US because I got banned on the UK, as most people know. I could go into Canada, but that would involve freighting books over to Canada, and the US market's big enough for me to make money, so I'm not worried about anything else. So you should possibly follow suit if you so desire. Have I ever tried using tactical arbitrage for books? I've used tactical arbitrage just for arbitrage of general products in the UK market. I haven't used it for books. I don't know how useful it is for books. It might be good. It probably isn't good though, because it's not gonna scan for scam sellers. It's not gonna scan for copies from India. It's not gonna scan for condition very well, probably. I just think there's so many reasons that tactical arbitrage isn't built for books. It's not geared toward books. But I don't know. So you can give it a go and give it a try if you like. But for me, I mean, I don't manually source, so I wouldn't use that anyway. But it might be good. Do I use software when buying online, such as Zen? I used to use Zen. I started out on Zen for the first, say, I think it was 9 months, and I would wake up at 6 a.m. every morning. I'd go on Zen for 2 hours before work. I'd go to work, and then I'd come home at 6, and I'd go on Zen until 10, and I'd go to sleep, and I'd recycle that all week. And then Saturday morning, I'd get up and I'd go on Zen. I'd be on Zen all weekend. And it obviously wasn't scalable, but it enabled me to build up enough cash flow to then, once I found keeper alerts and once I found other ways to find books, it catapulted me into 6 figures in my second year. So, but I don't use Zen now, and I haven't for a long time, just because I'm not going to manually source books myself, because for me, I see that as a time suck, and there's no value add there. I'm not going to get an ROI on my time if I have to like search through hundreds and hundreds of books to only find one or two buyers, whereas my current business model is just a book comes into my inbox and I buy it because I've set an alert for it. Simple, effective, and you can build it over time, and it's very powerful and very scalable. So that's the way I recommend building this business. Profit print. I've never heard of that Chrome extension. That sounds useful. Knowing that you are in the USA and unable to do it UK, if your account opened back up, would you do the same process? Yeah, I would set a ton of keeper alerts and then see where that went. I obviously don't know the UK market as well, so I can't really comment. I don't think there's as many bigger sellers. I think in the UK there's only kind of World of Books and Better World Books and Music Magpie. Those are the big three, I think. There's like a few others. Whereas in the US there's a ton. So there's a lot more opportunity for arbitrage. But yeah, I guess I would try and follow the same thing. I'd love to have my UK account open, but what can you do? What software do I use to find the majority of my books? At the moment, I'm using this new software. Um, that doesn't necessarily get the majority of books. I buy books from a ton of different sources. I use a ton of different methods. I've talked about a few of them on kind of the YouTube page and on the Facebook page. I use Bookfinder a lot. That's not really a sourcing software, but it's an absolute golden website. It's so quick, so fast. You can run 20 ASINs through that in a few seconds, and you can immediately see a buying opportunity. So people need to be using Bookfinder. If you haven't used my Google Sheet on that, you need to be getting on that. Bill, do I look at the number of people following a book or the statistics graphs that are located at the bottom of the keeper graphs? If so, does this affect decision buy? Yeah, totally look at that. 100%. I think the number of people following a book is a hugely important statistic for me. I don't want to follow a book that 20, 30, 40 other people are following, because it just means that the alerts can be harder to get, isn't it? So I like to set a keeper alert on books that have got 5 or less people. I actually try to just find books with 1 or less. You know, and why not? Why not just search for the books that no one else is looking at? Which makes most sense to me. Might not for you, but hey ho. Law and medical books tend to tank when a new edition comes out. Yeah, yeah, law for sure. I think medical's different though. I think there's a load of medical books that are like can sell for $300 and they've been there for years and they can be an absolute gold mine. And there's just so many different niches in medicine I know nothing about. I don't understand the words, but I'll happily buy them up. There's a lot of 2-volume sets that if you're willing to risk buying 2-volume sets that sometimes come off, you can make some really good money flipping those. But yeah, I guess some medical books do tank. How many hours per day do you devote to sourcing books? At the moment, it's quite a lot. I don't know really. It's hard to say. It's probably like 4 or 5 hours, maybe 6. Sometimes more, maybe. And that's part of the reason why I want to get more of a team going so that they can take some of the pressure off. I still, it's starting to become a bit of a grind, just because I'm trying to push for that 7 figures. So I'm obviously got a lot of books to buy, and it's kind of not. It's not a scalable proposition for one person to do that. So yeah, it takes up a lot of my time at the moment when I want to be sunning myself on the beach in Mexico. I searched the group and YouTube for your how to use Keeper demo. Do you have a direct link you can share? It's just that I think it's the second. I've only got a video on YouTube, how to use the Keeper deals page. I don't think I've got any Keeper analysis videos, unfortunately. Sorry, but there is a post about keeper charts that I've got somewhere I can bury, I can dig out from somewhere. What is the monthly cost of Be Cool software? So it's $25 for 1,000 listings on a marketplace, and then it goes up to 50 for 5,000, I think, and then it's $100 for 10,000. But then when you pay $100, you automatically get your repricing time reduced from 15 to 5 minutes, which is really important in my view. Do I use a UK credit card to buy in the USA? It's an expensive exchange rate. No, I use a TransferWise card. So that is a bank that's just online, but they've got their offices in Shoreditch, but they're also based in New York. And it's just a multi-currency card, so you can get a ton of different currencies through TransferWise. And I've got a US dollar one and a pound one, and I just transfer money between that. But the debit card, I just pay in US dollars. There's no conversion rate, and also bear in mind I get paid in dollars by Amazon, so there's no converting needing to be done. And the only time I change my dollars into pounds is when I want to pay myself, pay my accountant and stuff. So I move money from the USD into GBP every so often just to do that. And then there is a conversion fee for that, but it's at a really good market rate, much better than your traditional banks like HSBC and Barclays. You get a much better rate. And then so if I transfer 10,000 US dollars, I'll pay $44 on that, something like that, between 40 and 45 usually, and then they'll give me a really good rate. So I really recommend TransferWise. I've got an affiliate link somewhere if you're willing to use that. Oh, cheers, Kristen. You are a star. Profit print, yeah, that sounds good. The webinar is on the 23rd, this coming Tuesday at 3 p.m. EST, and then there's a replay at 9 p.m. I believe the replay will be at 9 p.m. So just get registered, and then you'll get reminders. So it makes it easy for you not to forget to attend. Oh, thank you again, Kristen. You are a legend. Do I have returns sent back to you? I have the returns sent back to Amazon, and that is a concern. And I have had negative feedbacks before because the book that's been returned has been maybe the wrong book, and then a customer's complained, and I've had negative feedback from that. But on the whole, I think Amazon have been getting better at it because it seems to happen less to me now. So I unlike most people, I actually just trust in the Amazon machine. I know it's a bit dangerous, but for me, it's less work for me. It's less work for the prep center. So I let Amazon do their thing and hope they're going to keep getting better at their jobs because they seem to be getting better. I mean, FBA fees actually got reduced last time around, I think. So I think things are getting better for us rather than worse. Whereas all the doom and gloomers think that Amazon's getting worse and the fees are getting more, but it's actually been getting better, in my opinion. Is there a limit to the amount of people that can get the software? There will be a limit in the sense that you need to get on it. You'll need to get on it at the time of the webinar because like it's only going to be released for that set time, and then if it gets released again, which it probably will, but it won't be for like a month or two, and it will be more expensive. Like I'm not trying to be genuine for you guys. It will be more expensive. I think the price point for it's really good, and I don't think it's unfair for these guys to put the price up for the next release of it. And also bear in mind that the next release will be better. I know that they've told me about some of the improvements they're going to put in, which if you sign up this week, come in, you'll be grandfathered into all the improvements, and it'll be the same price. Just worth thinking about. Salvatore, you got hold of an expensive book, goes for a lot more money than I've sold a book thus far. I'm not sure where to go with that. I'm not sure if I feel confident to send in Amazon. I think you've got to not be scared. Just like I said there, like I just trust in the Amazon machine. I mean, if you're worried about Amazon damaging the book, then you're never gonna sell many books, are you? Because every time you buy an expensive book, I mean, you could eBay all those expensive books, but do you want to build a scalable business, or do you want to build one that's going to be, your time dependent? So I would just say, put it into Amazon, and then the more you do that, the less you'll be scared. And yeah, one or two might get damaged, and you might get downgraded. I mean, you might, some books get lost. I've lost a book that I paid $275 for. It just got lost. They reimburse you, but I think I only got like $100 for it. And I've had a ton of like really bad situation, not bad, but I've had a ton of like lost books, and I haven't really got reimbursed for it. And it's just part of the business. It's just part, bad things or annoying things, frustrating things are going to happen in this business. You're going to get a ton of returns at some point that you didn't expect. You're going to get this, you're going to get that. But you've got to remember that if you keep plugging away and you keep pushing on, and you don't buy too many books that are just not going to sell, and you keep going, you're determined, you stay positive. There's only one way it's going to go. There's a load of kind of hurdles that I've had to jump over, and it's just problem solving, isn't it? Business is just problem solving, and the problems get harder and harder the bigger your business gets. So I remember like 2 years ago, I had an issue with sales tax, and I had to sign up to a load of states, pay all of them a bunch of back tax that I didn't even pay to the customers didn't even pay. So I had to pay like thousands of dollars of sales tax that I didn't even know about. And then just the other day, I forgot to file my Ohio sales tax return, right? And they've fined me $700. And like I can afford it right now, but it's just frustrating, isn't it? But I'm not going to let that ruin my day. I'm just going to get on with my day, and I'm just gonna take the hit as part of it. It's just a business cost. I was stupid. I've made a mistake, and now I've learned from it. I'm not going to forget to do that anymore. And as long as you don't make the same mistake twice, you're golden. You're gonna do well. Sorry if that was a bit too motivational for you. I just get a bit passionate about that sort of thing sometimes. What I'm saying is keep moving forwards and stay positive. You'll be fine. So you buy books and send them to the prep center, and then they send the books to FBA. Yeah. If you don't mind, how long takes all the books to arrive to FBA? Oh, that's a hard one. So I guess if I buy a book, it will take, especially at the times of COVID and the cold snap that's going on in the US, a book can arrive in sometimes 2 days. You know, you'll be super fortunate. It'll be 2 days. Sometimes it'll be 21 days. Sometimes they don't arrive at all. It's a complete gamble. And then the prep service are super good. When they receive a book, you know, it will be on a lorry going into Amazon within, you know, 1, 2, or 3 days maximum for me, because I'm sending in such a high volume that they'll be going in. If you're doing lower volume, like you'll have to send them an email when you want a shipment sent in, but they'll be on it. They're so good at what they do. And then that then takes either 2 days to say another 5 days to get to Amazon, and then Amazon have to kind of like unpack it and then make it active. So it can be anywhere from a week to like sometimes 2 months, and that can be really frustrating, especially for newbies starting out. That you know you've only got 50 books, and some of them have only 1 or 2 of them have landed the first few weeks, and that must be really annoying. Fortunately, when I started, it was all very quick, and I must have got quite lucky, or maybe it's just COVID at the moment as well. It's not nothing's working quite as smoothly, but I'm not having too many issues with shipments being slow. I think I've been quite lucky, or maybe I'm just sending such high volume I'm not noticing. But I wouldn't let the timing bother you, because that was something that really aggravated me when not aggravated. I was anxious about it when I started on the US market, because the UK market, you can sometimes get a book the next day delivered, and then you can send it into FBA the next day, and you can literally have it live within 3 days. But it's a tiny country, isn't it? So it's a different thing. But I thought that would really affect me. But I'm buying so many of my books, I'm selling through within 30 days, within 45. There's not much of my inventory over 90 days. So yeah, just buy the right books, guys. Buy the right books, which is a trial and error process. You know, we buy a ton of bad books to start with. I bought a ton of bad books. The first 6 months I was selling books, I didn't make much money. I was just treading water until I learned how to read a keep chart. That changed everything. Do you get any tax benefit in US market if you're registered in the UK? No, you don't. You get nothing. All you do is you file a US tax return saying that you're going to get taxed in the UK, and you can't reclaim any VAT from US Amazon fees, because Amazon doesn't pay VAT to the UK government. So it ends up worse, but I don't think about that because I've got no choice but not to. Prior to your current new software and success and stacked alert list, back in year one, how many hours per day were you sourcing whilst working full time? I've kind of answered that, haven't I? But if I do repeat that quickly, so I was getting up at 6 a.m. every day, working till say 8:15, getting the tube into work, doing a horrible finance job in the city, and then working till anywhere from 5 to 6, coming home, scoffing my dinner down, and then getting straight onto Zen arbitrage until bedtime. And somehow I had a girlfriend at the time. She put up with me, but I wasn't much of a responsive human, other than just I was just Zen arbitraging for a good 9 months there. And yeah, it was a slog. It was hard work, but I absolutely loved it. I look back on that time, and I actually look back on it really fondly, because I knew I was building something that was going to get me out of that job, and I was really excited by that. Every time I found a book for $20 that I knew was going to sell for 50, I was like, oh, this is amazing. If I just keep doing this, keep going, and I'm going to be able to one day live in Mexico, only needing a laptop and a Wi-Fi connection. And here we are. Feel grateful and blessed every day, guys. So it's all about working hard, working smart. What percentage of your books are acceptable? This is increasing every day, honestly. I buy so many acceptable books now. So many. I used to never buy an acceptable book. I'd steer clear. I'd steer well clear. You know what I found? Top secret. Loads of acceptable books come in as good. So why wouldn't you buy the acceptables? They're all cheaper. Obviously, you get some acceptables come in and they're water damaged and they smell moldy. Fine, that's annoying. But if we're playing a numbers game, we're playing a long game, we're playing a percentage game. My percentage return on acceptables is fantastic. I'd love to do some sort of. I'd love to share with you some sort of stat. I don't have enough time to look into my numbers that much at the moment, but maybe I'll have time in the coming months to show you how good my acceptables ROIs are, because they're probably way above $25 net margin. We'll see. Net profit. So yeah, don't be scared of acceptables, and just don't buy acceptables from sellers who've got really bad feedback rating. Buy acceptables from Better World Books. Buy them from half price books. Buy them from anyone with 90s and above, because they're probably going to send you Goodwill. Goodwill are usually quite good. Buy those books. Cheers for sending those posts over, Kristen. Thank you very much. Helping everyone out massively. Laurie, so you've sold 417 books, but you've only got 2 reviews. Okay, this is really annoying thing about Amazon, is that only like, it's not even 1%. It's like 0.1% of people give reviews. So I've sold, over 10,000 books, and I've got 200 and something reviews. It's probably like 250 now. And I use an auto target. I use like an email marketing campaign software called Excelco, just the letter X and sell co.com, and they send out 1,000 emails a month for me for $25 a month, and that helps. That's definitely increased my reviews. But yeah, it's terrible. People don't leave reviews on Amazon. It's really frustrating. But so I wouldn't be concerned by the two divided by 417. What is that? That is about 0.05, 0.1. I don't know, but it's similar to my ratio. So I wouldn't be concerned. What I would say is use Excelco. It will get your reviews up, because it emails people out a templated email saying, hey, looks like you've received your book, and if you're happy with your order, please give me a review on Amazon. And that little nudge into someone's inbox, that really helps. If you need any tips on how to do that, just like PM me or put a post in the group, and I can help you on that, or someone can help you if they do the same. Do I sell many high school books? And if so, what do you look for when sourcing them? I don't sell many high school books, because they only sell once a year, and I know they sell for massively inflated prices for once a year. But my business model, I'll happily buy them in May, June, April, because then I know they're going to sell in July and August, right? But I'm just not that interested in the high school books game. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, I'm just not. It doesn't interest me to buy a book that only sells once a year. Like, textbooks are cool because they sell in January and August, and then a lot of textbooks sell in May as well. People forget about the May bump. So I like that. I don't really like just the one dip. I know it's a big dip. The high school. If you look on a keep chart, it kind of goes like that. I'm not doing that very well, but it's like a bell curve almost, but a bit shallower. So the prices will be prices which are $10 in December will go up to like 100 in July. But yeah, I don't know whether it's just me, the way I've done my alerts, the way I've been tracking my books, but I've just found that I've not been in the high school book game that much. But maybe it's an avenue I'll look down in future because there's definitely money in it. I wouldn't be scared to buy high school books, but it's just I don't want to sit on too much stock I'm gonna have to wait for months on. I don't know. There's a few things going there. How do you move books bulk from wholesale to Amazon FBA USA, John? I don't do any wholesale, so I can't comment on that, unfortunately. If you meant something else, please clarify for me. Manish, what is my average ROI in books? So my average buy cost is, I keep forgetting this now. I think it's $25 and sell for 70, and I'll make a $25 net profit on that. So it's 100%, isn't it? Average, I think. My profit margin is like 30, it's like 28, 29%. So that gives you a good idea. My net margin, which is pretty high, I think it's pretty decent. Not complaining. Glad you're looking forward to hearing about the software, Michael. You will enjoy it. Yay. Thanks for the affiliate links, Kristen. Thank you very much. I'm liking that. Dan, you look like you're in the gym, mate. Thanks for noticing. Thanks for noticing. I may have been in the gym, although hush hush, gyms aren't supposed to be open, so that's between us. Because we are in amber lockdown at the moment, but it's changing to yellow on Monday, so everything is opening. Not that any of you care, but that's just my life right now. Ben, without giving things away, is the new software going to be able to be used on the UK market as well? It will be, but in a few months. Like they're planning on doing it, but they've just not done it yet because for whatever reason, US market is bigger. I think they've got a bigger customer base in the US. But yeah, it should come to the UK, and I'll be excited for that because then I can put that in the group as well. Yeah, Darren, drop me a PM and I'll send you the accountant's details. No worries. They'll be happy to have you aboard. Hey, Asim, Kristen, any pricing insights? Competitive, lower profit versus slower turn, high profit. I always go competitive. Always. If I've seen the book sold for $200 or whatever, but I can sell it quicker for way less, but I'm still making that margin, that average margin of 100% ROI, for me, that's fantastic. I'll take that all day long because I want that inventory to churn. There's nothing wrong with the slower turn high profit. I could probably make that work because I've got cash in the bank, but I'd advise anyone else to go for the competitive lower profit, because if Nike are doing it, if Walmart are doing it, if Amazon are doing it, if all the massive retail consumer giants their biggest focus is on inventory turn rate being the fastest, and those are the businesses that are performing the best in the world, and they have been hands down for loss however long, then why wouldn't I focus on that? Because we're in the physical products business, and those guys, I'm going to follow what the experts are doing because I'm not an expert. So yeah, please price competitively, guys, if you want to sell your books. Yeah, cheers, Dan. They do send a shipment out as soon as you send them an email. They are great. Central Virginia Prep, they accurately grade the books and inspect them really well. I've had thousands and thousands of books go through the team there, the fingers of the team there, and only a few times have I had customers complain. And I don't know if that's Amazon making a mistake with that, dropping the book, do I? So I'd like to think that they never make a mistake. Like Shanna, the boss there, has just got things so clued up over there, and they like undergrade the books because Shanna knows that Amazon could, or UPS, there's so many opportunities for a book to go from a very good to a good or a good to an acceptable during the process of them packing the book up. putting it on a lorry, going to Amazon, then it being unpacked and then sent to another fulfillment center. Think about how many stages of the process there are. So I think Shanna and the team really make sure that they're very conservative. Like if it's on the borderline between good and acceptable, they'll do an acceptable, and I'll be fine with that because I'd rather not risk a bad customer feedback. So yeah, trust in CVP. I mean, if you want to scale this business, if you want to make it work, you got to trust in your partners, haven't you? And these are your key partners, along with Amazon. Really, you got to trust them. Trust that they're doing a good job and they're not screwing you over, which they're not. What do us UK sellers need to do to avoid these tax fines you just mentioned? You fortunately don't need to worry about any of these because you're joining the party later than I. You don't need to worry about sales tax pretty much because Amazon does the sales tax for nearly every state now, and the states that they don't do it for, there's not that many. So between me and you guys, just don't sign up to them to pay sales tax. You know, you are, no offense, but you are a tiny speck on their radar that they're never even going to know about. I'm really annoyed myself that I even signed up to pay sales tax. If any of you guys know Reezy Resells, he's a big guy in the book arbitrage space and just the general Amazon space. He sells, you know, millions of bucks of books on Amazon, has been doing for years and years, and he says, like, on his Facebook page or on his YouTube channel, that he doesn't pay sales tax. So he's never signed up to sales tax and he's got away with it. Some reason I thought, oh, I'm gonna have a really big tax burden, so I'll stay on the right side of the law, you know, which obviously is sensible. But if I look back now, I'm thinking, when would the state of Ohio ever look at a UK limited company that's selling on Amazon doing 6 figures? Like, that's measly compared to all the 8 and 9 figure sellers or whatever. And they're going to be like, oh yeah, let's pick out Seth Baker's company and let's fine him. Whereas I said to them, oh, I need to pay sales tax to you guys, and then they fined me. And then they fined me again this year because I was just late to paying them because I completely forgot about it. So yeah, my advice is just don't worry about sales tax. You'll be safe. There's no way they're going to find you out. And even if one state finds you out, you're only going to have to pay a tiny little bit. It's not like every state's going to find out about you. I'm still annoyed that I even signed up for them because that it's such a time burden each month. I have to do a sales tax return for like 5 different states, and it's just annoying. So unnecessary. But yeah, that's just my bug to bear. Michael, what percentage of acceptable books do you buy? I don't know on the percentage. Apologies for that, but it's going up all the time. And all I can say to you is I try to buy as many acceptable books as possible when they're the right price. And I won't buy them for anywhere near that I'd pay for a good book, but they're usually way lower price than a good book because they're in acceptable condition, right? So, I mean, maybe it's 15% of buyers, 20, like 15% maybe. If that goes up to 20, I wouldn't be surprised because there's a lot of profit in them. How can I find an accountant that knows the specifics for this Amazon business? I mean, Laura, I don't know if you're based in the UK, but I can send you an accountant. But in terms of US, I have no idea because yeah, you'll have to research that yourself. Unfortunately, it's not my speciality. Thanks for loving the positive vibes. It's all about the positive vibes to make this work. You can't be doom and gloom in this Amazon game. There's so much. I mean, look, I'm sitting in Playa del Carmen in Mexican on my laptop, live chatting you guys with Bookselling. Probably sold a couple of books over the time of this call, and you know, I've made it work. There's so many ways that this couldn't have worked because of what I said. There's so many issues I've had with UK accounts banning and so many problems. It's difficult to set up accounts, you know, get verified. It's a competitive market, it's saturated, you know, it's getting harder every day, which it is. But if you work hard enough, you work smart enough, you find creative solutions, and you're passionate about it and you like doing it and you're willing to put the hours in, then you'll make it work. You'll be able to quit your job, you'll be able to go on that extra holiday a year, whatever goal you've got, you'll hit that. I believe in you. your whole business is buying MF books and reselling FBA. No, not at all. I buy a ton of FBA books now. A lot of you may have seen Jensen Books. That's an FBA seller, but they're pretty much an MF seller, but they price FBA. I buy loads of FBA books now. So yeah, buy FBA, sell FBA, buy MF, sell FBA, whichever one, wherever the profit's at. Jake, if I miss the early webinar and watch the replay later, do I still have to? Yeah. If you watch the replay, you'll have the opportunity to buy the software, but it'll be shut after like a day or so. So just make sure you catch it as soon as you can. I appreciate that, Michael. Really do. Obviously, some people don't like the positive chat, but it's definitely helped me on my way when I've watched kind of like positive YouTubers or Facebook groupers. You know, it helps getting a little bit of motivation in your life sometimes. Is there ever a time where you go higher than Amazon's price? I'll only go higher than Amazon's price if I think they're going to go off the listing soon. So if it says they've only got one left in stock, or if it looks like, yeah, it looks like they've jumped on a listing and they'll only be on it for a week. Sometimes you can tell that they'll be on a listing for 6 months and then they won't be on one for say 4 months, and then they just jump on it. You can kind of sometimes tell that they're only going to be on it for a little bit of time, and that's a gamble, obviously, because you don't know if then they're just going to have 999 plus in stock. But yeah, that's the only time I'll price higher than Amazon. But when they're in stock and it looks like they're going to stay in stock, you know, I'm always going to price under them, and I'll have to take the hit if I bought it for too much, and I'll have to sell it. Like that happens on a bunch of books, you know. That sometimes they'll drop their price from 150 bucks to 100, and I've bought that book for 70 and was hoping to sell it for 135. I've just got to take the hit and sell it for 95. I'm probably going to break even just about then. But yeah, that happens a lot. You just got to deal with it. That's just part of the business, isn't it? Just like I said earlier, you're going to have bad buys. You're going to get unfortunate. Amazon's going to screw you over sometimes, but as long as doesn't happen often for me anyway. Yeah, inventory turnover rate is super important. I'd like to think so. What do I think about eFlip? I've never really used it, so I don't want to comment on it. eScore seems like a pretty compelling data point. Yeah, eScore does actually sound like a really good data point. I'm with you on that, but I've just never used it because I started on. I got sold on Peter Valley's sales funnel. I didn't even know about eFlip until way later down the road, and then by the time I've been on Zen for a while, I kind of quit, and then I thought, oh, I'm not going to go on to eFlip. I'm sure, yeah. I'm not going to comment on software I've not used. But yeah, eScore does sound good. But I've been successful without needing the eScore. I just think Keeper's got enough data on it, like more than enough. I don't want to be overwhelmed with data, but although that is useful. When I buy a book, do I send it straight to prep or to you first, then prep? You send it straight to the prep center, and then they'll send it into FBA, into Amazon for you. Hey Ted, sorry if this was asked earlier, but what does book classification from good to very good really matter in sale of the book? I wouldn't say it matters whatsoever, really. If you're buying a book that sells regularly, then maybe the very good copy will go a little bit before yours, but then you're going to sell through the next day, right? And then all you need to do is set your repricer to kind of underprice very good books, or just stay within that. Then you'll be fine. The buy box also, if you've got the buy box in your FBA, it's not really going to distinguish between good and very good, I don't think. So it will just be based on your seller metric. So I think I'll often beat a seller to the punch if they've got a very good copy and I've got a good one, just because I think I seem to get good buy box statistics. So it's kind of down to your account. It's down to lots of different factors. But yeah, I wouldn't be scared to buy. I don't care if I buy an acceptable, a good, a very good, or a light new. I don't really look at that anymore, because I just know that if I'm buying at the right price, I'm going to sell it at the right price. So yeah, don't worry about the good to very good. But if you just look at the stats, you look at Keeper, right? You will notice that generally the very good copies are, the averages are slightly higher. So that does tell you that very good books do sell for more, but I wouldn't let that affect your business in any way, because you're not going to be able to just buy very good books and make this business work. I mean, I'm sure you could, but you're limiting yourself to just one classification, which doesn't make sense to me. How long am I in Mexico for? I'm in Mexico for as long as the UK and Europe sort their stuff out. I'm here till the end of, I'm here till 27 March in this Airbnb, and then if the UK is opened up, or say parts of Europe have moved up, I might move to Europe. I might go back to the UK, but for now I'm set here. I've got no, I'm kind of going with the flow, you know. I don't have a home. I don't have anything, so I'm kind of just freestyling and enjoying it. It's good. Where there is a will, there is a way. There certainly is, Emily. I know you're a positive gal. You're on board with that. Under what conditions do you manually reprice books versus using Be Cool? I used to manually reprice 10% of my books. I've just stopped doing that completely now because I found that it's not improving my sales in any way. So it's probably actually decreasing my sales. I send every single book into the Be Cool repricer. The only times I don't is when sometimes I'll put a book in at a really high price and I'll leave it for a couple of weeks just to see if it's going to sell, and then I'll go into it a couple of weeks later and I'll put whatever I think is the price I'm going to get for it. But yeah, I just want to reduce the time that I'm spending in the business, and I also would rather a machine do the job for me because it's going to do it better. So like sometimes you build an emotional attachment with books. Maybe you've sold it like 5 times at a certain price, and then you have to drop the price by say $50, $100, and you're a bit gutted about it. Be Cool doesn't get gutted. It doesn't get upset about having to drop the price, and I'd rather not have to deal with that. Some of you may not have the emotional ties to books that I do, but yeah, I'm a weirdo. Okay. I was told that you can't buy FBA and sell it on FBA as per Amazon TOS. You can only not buy FBA if you buy it Prime. So Amazon doesn't want you to buy a book. It gets sent to you next day delivery, and then you've got it sent into Amazon, and you can that then you can build a bit of a monopoly on FBA prices. But I don't have a Prime account, so if you don't pay for Prime shipping or you don't have a Prime account, you'll be fine. As far as I know, people can correct me, but that's what I think the situation is. I appreciate that, Bill. I'm glad you've enjoyed the info, the knowledge. No, the e-score number of days the book sold in the past 6 months, or 90 days, something like that. I'm not sure exactly. Oh, okay, 6 months. Bill said, cool. Yeah, it's good stat. If you could give the best advice to new booksellers to be as successful as you, what would it be? I would say get on the webinar. No, I'm joking. I would say save up a lot, save up as much money as you can, because then you can afford to make mistakes. So like I've always been like, people might pick me apart a little bit because I've got a bit of money for my grandmother when I first started out. But what people don't know is that I did have a lot of money that I'd saved up for the past 25 years, not 25 years, 20 years. Every time I got money when I was a kid, I put it in the bank. I never spent it on video games or like whatever you kids spend it on. Like my parents taught me to save money and be thrifty. So I've always been a saver. I've always gone for the kind of like if something's a cheaper option but it's as good quality, I've always just like researched the cheaper option. I've always been that sort of human. So for me, I find it really easy to save money. So alongside that, when I was working my corporate job in London, I would always put aside like a ton of money, and I'd sacrifice, say, going for beers with my friends sometimes, and I'd sacrifice buying new clothes because I knew that if I put that money away and I needed it at some point, I was going to be grateful for that. And you know what happened? I needed to spend that money on books and Amazon and stock for Amazon, and for those years putting all that money away. If I hadn't have done that, maybe I wouldn't be here now. So for me, it's like if you've not got enough money to start this business, please try and save as much as you can, and then it means that if you do buy the occasional bad book, you're not going to get buried in the process of Amazon like not paying you quick enough, and then you're not being able to kind of turn your stock. So money talks, doesn't it? You know, it's very important. So if you're as long as you're I mean, there's so much advice to give, isn't there? It's a bit of a hard one, but for me, it's like be thrifty, be sensible with your money. Look at your numbers, be organized, have a to-do list. Have a daily routine that you follow every day to keep you on top of your stuff. Work hard. I mean, there's just too many things I could go into. I can't just have the best advice. Is too difficult for me, unfortunately. There's so many things that have got to come together for you to make this work. But I guess ultimately, if you've got the belief and that you've got, I think it's a bit cliche because everyone says it now, but if your why is big enough, you'll make it work, right? So my why was I hate working a corporate job in London. I hate having a boss. Like I absolutely despise it so much that I will do anything, absolutely anything to not do that. And as soon as I found Amazon, I thought this is my ticket out of hell, literal hell. Like I always call I know not some people like their jobs, but I call the corporate world like it's like office slavery. So I just hate it. So that was me kind of getting out of it, and my why was strong enough, but that might not be for everyone. Is there good training videos on how to set up keeper alerts? I haven't got one. Some other people might have some. Um, yeah, if you just Google it, there might be some. I'm not sure. I'm sure there will be. YouTube it, sorry. Yeah, no point. No problem, Laurie. I appreciate you hopping on and asking a load of questions because that's helped the live carry on as long as it has, which is we've done quite a good effort here. 75 minutes. Very good. That's way more than I expected. Um, Michael, yeah, establishing good credit. See, that goes hand in hand with being thrifty, right? Don't max out your credit cards that when you can't pay the money back. And I know I talked about the 0% credit cards earlier, but um, yeah, don't be stupid with your money. Only spend what you can afford. It's just basic principles like that that you really need to stick to, and they'll make you go far. Regalo, so you use your savings of X amount, grandma's gift of 8K plus 25K and 0% loan to start your business. Yeah, so it looks like a lot, but you've got to remember that a lot of that money went into bad stock. So then I ended up in the UK, which ended up actually being disposed of. Like I had a ton of stock, probably like $8,000 worth of stock that got disposed of. So I was actually in quite a tight spot when I was in the US market, and I didn't have that much money to spend on books. So, but yeah, you do need a nice. If well, I made a lot of mistakes though, but if you learn from the right people, I didn't have much learning resource when I started, but if you learn the right stuff, then you probably don't need as much money. But I would say, yeah, you need to save as much money as possible to make this work because you need money to spend on inventory. It's a physical products business. You need money to make money. If you become a YouTuber, yeah, if you just have an iPhone and you get 100K followers and then you get some sponsorship, that's a business that you don't need to spend money on, but you spend time on. So, and it's probably not going to get you there as quickly. It takes a while. So it's a different business model, isn't it? I was fortunate enough to have some money, so it worked for me. But if you've not got any money, then try a different business model. But the Amazon, I just think we're just getting started with Amazon. You know, it's building every day, every year. It's becoming bigger and bigger, better and better, and you're not too late to jump on. If there's people who are watching this who haven't started their Amazon journey and they're scared about it being saturated and competitive, yeah, it is, but it's only going to get worse. So why not start now? It's the perfect time to start now. Get involved. There's still so much money to be made. It's a great business model. I love it. I've tried so many other business models, and this one was just the one for me, and it just clicked. And it's just so simple. I wake up, I buy some books, I reprice some books, then I go to the beach. Obviously, it's more complex than that. I'm being a little bit facetious, but some days it is just that. And I've built that because Amazon's there, and we've never had this before. And obviously, I've worked very hard, but that was fun. So there you go. No problem, Kristen. Appreciate you putting the link in the chat. I'm excited for the webinar too. Yeah, you need enough money to make more money. True, regardless. How many individual ISP and ASINs are you currently tracking? It's a lot. I'll tell you, it's a lot. It's It's probably 100,000 ASINs right now. So yeah, that shows you where you need to be be trying to hit the 7 figures. It's a lot of alerts. It's not get rich quick, but well, yeah. I mean, that's always worth mentioning, isn't it? It's not get rich quick. I mean, I was absolutely surprised. I mean, I was so shocked at how I managed to do 6 figures in the it's my second year. But it's not a get rich scheme, is it? I've just said about how hard I worked for that first year and a half, and I've not stopped as well. Bear in mind that I've barely had a day off. Even I went to Sri Lanka last year with my ex-girlfriend, and we were like traveling away, going on safari parks, and I was working very hard with terrible Wi-Fi every morning, every evening, and whenever I could, like in between day trips and stuff. So you need to put in the work, and obviously she's an ex-girlfriend for a reason. She was probably second fiddle to the Amazon, but sometimes that's got to happen. Amazon's pretty much well, it's a full-time job, isn't it? But a fun one. Well, anyway, it looks like the questions are dried up. I really, really appreciate you all for watching and asking all the questions, and everyone who's commented and put some of my affiliate links. Thank you, Kristen. Obviously, you've been the top star there. Really appreciate you. But yeah, thank you guys for hanging out with me on your Sunday, where you could have been relaxing and doing whatever else you wanted to do. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I might make this a weekly thing because I've really enjoyed it. So if there's demand for it, let me know in the comments, or I'll put a post out next week and see if people want to do another one. Maybe we can like change the times around for some people who couldn't do it or whatnot. But yeah, we should definitely do this again. We can maybe do like a fortnightly thing or something. But yeah, so appreciate you guys again. Thank you very much. I wish you best of luck in the week with your whatever ventures you're pursuing, and I hope I can see you all on the 23rd on Tuesday at 3 p.m. EST. Please register at the link. I will put the link again at the end of the chat. Honestly, this software it's blown me away. When I saw it in December, I thought, oh my God, this is my ideal software. I've had no idea that this existed, and obviously it was only in beta mode, and I was just it kind of was like serendipitous that it happened, and I met the guys there, and I've been able to work on it for the last 2.5 months. And I'm really excited to share it with you guys because you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. You're gonna see the value in it. The price point's good. They're really top guys. They'll, if you sign up, they'll have a really good support team. We're going to do a training session if you sign up, show you how it all works, how to find profitable books with it. The value is all there. It's all there, and I'm really happy with it. And I wouldn't want to put it out to anyone on the group if I wasn't really happy with the finished article and the final product. And I'm really happy with it. They've put all the changes in that I wanted. It's really streamlined. It's easy to use. It makes sense. It's good for newbies and advanced booksellers, like everyone alike. So yeah, it's all there, and I'm excited to share it with you guys. My first webinar, so please bear in mind if I'm a little bit, don't know, nervous. We'll see. Bi-weekly, Adam. Does that mean 2 times a week? That's a big ask. I think we'll stick to the weekly. It looks like people want to do the weekly. I'll be up for that. I feel like there's not enough content to do bi-weekly, and also I just wouldn't stick to it, unfortunately. Yeah, we'll do a weekly thing. If people think Sunday's good, I quite like Sundays because it's a good one. All right, guys, I'm going to cut it off here because otherwise, if this goes to YouTube, it just looks like we're waffling. So thank you very much. I'm gonna leave you there, and I hope you've enjoyed it. And I'll catch you either on Tuesday or next week. We shall see. Have a great day. Ciao. Auf Wiedersehen. Goodbye.